Welcome to our first public outreach presentation for the City of Sunnyvale General Plan's Air Quality and Noise Sections Update project. My name is Mary Jayaprakash and I'm the project manager and planner working on this general plan update. Along with the air quality and noise section update, this project includes evaluating general plan goals and policies to incorporate the state's environmental justice requirements. As part of this update, we want to hear your concerns regarding air quality, noise, and environmental justice in Sunnyvale. To give you some background on these updates, we have launched this video outlining existing air quality and noise conditions, applicability of environmental justice requirements in Sunnyvale, and our next steps in this project. We are also prepared a survey so you can share your feedback. Why the update and what is the general plan? Every jurisdiction in the state of California is required to adopt a general plan, which is a fundamental long-term tool in guiding a jurisdiction through change and growth. The general plan is required to have 7 sections: land use, open space, conservation, circulation, housing, safety, and noise. Each section contains goals and policies for the city to follow. Now, the city is updating 3 areas within the general plan: air quality and noise, originally adopted in the 90s, and environmental justice, which is a new general plan requirement. As we are just beginning this process, your feedback is critical to shape the future goals and policies in the general plan. If you would like to stay on a contact list for future and electronic updates to this project, please contact me. My information is listed in the last slide and on the project website. This presentation will talk about the project background and purpose, including why we are doing this update. It will describe the existing air quality, environmental justice, and noise conditions in the city and summarizes findings related to those topics. Then we'll discuss the next steps of the project, including the public input process and project timeline. The Sunnyvale General Plan captures the community's long-term vision of future growth and guides local decision-making to advance that vision. It addresses the physical development of the city. It is both a long-range and a strategic planning document containing long-range goals and policies for the next 10 to 20 years. The air quality section of the general plan under Chapter 7, Environmental Management, was originally adopted in 1992. The updates will consider federal, state, local, and regional regulations and changes to the city's air quality. The noise section of the general plan under Chapter 6, Safety and Noise, was last updated in 1997. The existing goals, policies, and action items of the noise section should also be updated to reflect change in local and regional noise exposure. In 2016, SB 1000 was passed and required integration of environmental justice policies and goals into general plans. Environmental justice is intended to promote fair treatment for all people in the underserved areas, such as low-income neighborhoods that are adversely affected by environmental hazards. It also promotes equal participation of all people in the development and implementation of environmental regulations. The law only applies to jurisdictions with disadvantaged communities as defined by the state, and Sunnyvale does not have any such communities. However, Sunnyvale is voluntarily choosing to incorporate policies and goals to address environmental justice into the general plan with these other amendments. The city hired Ascent Environmental, a Sacramento-based firm, as our consultant to help with this general plan update. Angie Hyung and Dimitri Antonio of Ascent will be presenting the following slides.
Hi, my name is Dimitri Antonio. I'm an air quality and noise expert and the project manager at Ascent. I'm leading the technical analysis and environmental review efforts for this project. Now I will be discussing existing noise conditions and findings in the city. Before getting into the details, it is important to provide some general background and introduction into how noise is discussed. Noise is typically defined as unwanted, loud, unexpected, or annoying sound. Noise perception and sensitivity can be subjective depending on the noise source and the existing noise levels within a community. For example, a residence in a quiet neighborhood might be more susceptible to short-term increases in noise from construction equipment in comparison to a residence in an existing loud urban setting, which might not be equally annoyed by the same construction noise. When discussing noise levels and noise regulations and standards, the decibel scale, or dB, is used, which is weighted based on the frequencies of sound that the human ear perceives, known as dBA. Noise can be described using various time averaging metrics, but among the most commonly used for describing community noise and for establishing noise standards are equivalent continuous sound levels, or an LEQ, which is a 1 hour period average, a maximum sound level, or Lmax, which represents the maximum noise levels of a source, a community noise equivalent, or CNEL, and a day-night average, which are both 24-hour average noise levels that make adjustments for more sensitive times of the day. For reference and context, some typical noise levels of common noise sources include a dishwasher at 55 dBA on the quieter end of the spectrum, compared to relatively high noise levels of a gas lawnmower at approximately 90 dBA. Quiet urban daytime levels may be as low as 50 dBA, and noisy daytime urban levels as loud as 80 dBA. General plan noise compatibility standards set acceptable noise exposure levels for new development based on land use types, such as residential, commercial, industrial, public schools, etc. Current standards establish the following acceptable noise exposure limits for residential uses. Less than 60 dBA CNEL is normally acceptable for new sensitive land uses. Projects proposed in these areas would not require further analysis. Areas meeting this noise level are scarce in the city. Ranging from 60 to 75 dBA CNEL is considered conditionally acceptable for new sensitive land uses. In these areas, additional site-specific noise analysis would be required to ensure the specific use is not adversely affected by existing noise levels. And finally, greater than 75 dBA CNEL is considered unacceptable for new sensitive land uses. Noise is typically regulated at the local level, but relies on guidance from state and federal agencies. For example, the Federal Transit Administration, FTA, and the Federal Highway Administration, FHWA, have developed tools for modeling noise from various sources such as airplanes, traffic, construction equipment, and guidance for conducting noise and vibration impact assessments. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, regulates airport noise and requires that public use airports prepare airport land use compatibility plans, which include noise modeling of airport noise contours. Local agencies use these plans to avoid locating sensitive land uses in high noise zones. The State Office of Planning and Research, OPR, requires that cities and counties in California include a noise section in their general plans. At a minimum, the noise section shall include considerations of noise from highways, freeways, major roads, railroads, aviation, industrial uses, and other stationary noise sources. The noise section of the general plan typically includes noise levels for these sources and identifies policies and noise standards for regulating community noise levels. The municipal code provides the city with enforceable noise limits and can include additional noise standards for different zones within a city or specific noise limits for certain receptors or sources. In addition, the municipal code may identify exempted activities or sources from the noise code, for example, residential landscape equipment or temporary noise such as construction, provided that these activities occur within certain less sensitive daytime hours. And finally, the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, requires that new developments be evaluated to determine whether or not the proposed project would result in new noise sources that could adversely affect nearby existing land uses. Primary noise and vibration sources within a community, including Sunnyvale, typically include traffic noise on major freeways and roads, noise from aircraft flights, railroads and horns, activities at industrial uses, and temporary noise associated with construction equipment, which is common in urban areas. Noise levels vary throughout the city. Based on existing documentation and modeling conducted, existing 24-hour average noise levels by source within Sunnyvale include traffic noise in the city ranging from 59 to 76 dBA, noise at Moffett Airfield mapped at 65, 70, and 75 dBA, average rail noise at 73 dBA with maximum levels at 105 dBA when horns are blowing, and finally construction noise can vary greatly, but typical equipment ranges from 80 to 105 dBA for short periods of time. Similar to many communities in California, traffic is a primary noise source in Sunnyvale. Major highways and roads are considered a primary noise source within the city because roadway noise permeates through all parts of the community. Noise levels were modeled at 75 feet from the center line of major roads within the city. Noise contours for all modeled roads were mapped and are depicted here. The map includes contour distances for each modeled freeway for the 60, 65, 70, and 75 dBA contours. Major highways in Sunnyvale include US 101, Interstate 280, State Route 85, and State Route 237. Major local roads include Matilda Avenue, Wolf Road, Lawrence Expressway, Central Expressway, El Camino Real, or State Route 82, and Homestead Road. Based on the modeling that was conducted, highway noise ranges from 75 to 77 dBA, and noise from major roads ranged from 59 to 72 dBA. Although airport noise does contribute to the noise environment in Sunnyvale, airports are regulated at the federal and state level, and therefore the city has no control over activities or operations at airports. The Moffett Federal Airfield is the closest airport to Sunnyvale, located just outside the city limits. The San Jose International Airport is located approximately 4 miles to the southeast of the city. Both airports contribute to the existing noise environment, but this discussion focuses on Moffett Airfield as it is closest to the city. Moffett Federal Airfield is used by NASA, Air National Guard, U.S. Coast Guard, and for cargo flights. Santa Clara County completed a comprehensive land use plan, which includes the existing and planned facilities, noise contours, height, and safety restrictions, policies, and land use compatibility standards for Moffett Airfield. The figure presents the aircraft noise contours that represent the current level of activity through the year 2022. The 75 dBA contour is completely contained within the airport boundaries. The 70 dBA contour is generally contained within NASA-owned property, but overlays a small area of industrial land uses. The 65 dBA noise contour is generally contained within commercial and industrial areas, but the area southeast of the Central Expressway and Mary Avenue intersection is predominantly residential. The 60 dBA contour affects commercial and industrial areas, except for the area southeast of the Central Expressway and Mary Avenue intersection, which comprises predominantly residences. The figure also shows the approximate approach flight path into San Jose International, which also contributes to noise in Sunnyvale. The city has the authority to limit exposure from airport noise through zoning and land use planning. Generally speaking, sensitive land uses are not permitted in areas above 60 dBA without additional acoustical analysis to ensure interior noise levels are acceptable. Here is a summary of noise findings in the city of Sunnyvale. Major noise sources include traffic noise on highways and aircraft noise. Roadway traffic is the predominant source of noise affecting sensitive land uses in the city. The roadways in the city with the greatest modeled traffic noise levels are Interstate 280 and US 101. The Moffett Airport CLUP establishes compatibility policies for sensitive land uses within the 60 dBA CNEL and higher noise contours. Neighborhoods located in the northern portion of the city, bounded by SR 237 to the north, US 101 to the south, two major roadways with high daily traffic volumes are exposed to higher traffic noise levels than other areas of the city. High traffic volumes contribute to high levels of ambient noise, which could result in adverse physical and mental health impacts. Land use planning policies should consider these existing noise levels when citing new development. The general plan noise section update will consider some new policies. Noise compatibility standards are old and do not necessarily reflect the current noise conditions. For example, new higher density multifamily residential development where outdoor noise is less of an issue are often suited for locations with high existing noise levels, for example, near roadways or train stations. The city will reevaluate the noise compatibility standards for various land uses. New trends in development, such as mixed-use buildings, pose unique noise issues. For example, various noise-generating uses on the bottom levels of a mixed-use building, such as a restaurant or a gym, may generate noise that could affect residential units located above these ground-level uses. Current standards do not address these issues.
Hi, this is Mary again. I'm going to discuss the next steps with this project. We're doing public outreach in August to collect your feedback. We are looking at going to the Planning Commission for a study session in August to get their input. Towards September, the draft goals and policies will be ready. We'll also start the environmental review by then. We are looking at going to the Sustainability and Housing Commission in October-November timeframe to get their input. Towards the end of this year, the final goals and policies are expected. Then we'll be bringing in the proposed updates to Planning Commission in 2021 February and to the City Council in 2021 April timeframe. This wraps up our presentation. Here is my contact information. There is a link to the survey provided on the project website. If you would like to stay on a contact list for future electronic updates to this project, please contact me. Please take a moment and respond to the survey. Let us know what your air quality, noise, and environmental justice concerns and top priorities are. Thank you. Hi, this is Mary again. I'm going to discuss the next steps with this project. We're doing public outreach in August to collect your feedback. We are looking at going to the Planning Commission for a study session in August to get their input. Towards September, the draft goals and policies will be ready. We'll also start the environmental review by then. We are looking at going to the Sustainability and Housing Commission in October-November timeframe to get their input. Towards the end of this year, the final goals and policies are expected. Then we'll be bringing in the proposed updates to Planning Commission in 2021 February and to the City Council in 2021 April timeframe. This wraps up our presentation. Here is my contact information. There is a link to the survey provided on the project website. If you would like to stay on a contact list for future electronic updates to this project, please contact me. Please take a moment and respond to the survey. Let us know what your air quality, noise, and environmental justice concerns and top priorities are. Thank you.